Good morning, everybody. Great to see you all today on this second official day of spring. Very exciting to see some greenery come to life as our Emerald Hills really start to take shape. So happy spring, everybody, and thanks for being with us this morning. We have great information to share with you this morning, and we're also going to ask for some of your feedback. So thanks for being with us, especially a big thank you to our outgoing board president for just, 8 more days, Pat Arnold. Thanks for your incredible leadership over the last 2 years. Can't imagine doing this crazy scene without anybody else. So thank you for all of your leadership. And Laura Mullen will be stepping up as president starting April 1st. And this is your Downtown SLO Board of Directors who will be starting their term for this next year on April 1st. So a big thank you to all of you who are joining. I wanted to say also thank you to everybody downtown for making St. Patrick's Day so safe this year. There was some uncertainty, and especially as we saw some, shenanigans prior to the actual holiday. I want to really say thank you to the restaurants and bars out there who decided to do the right thing and limit their capacities and change their hours. I know that was hard, as this can be a real moneymaker type of a day, but we saw really low traffic and it was a good day downtown last week. So thank you to all of you. And we continue to see some really great engagement in Mission Plaza with that SLO Lucky Tunnel. So that will be up through the end of the month. Thanks to Carson Butler for their phenomenal work keeping that space activated, and to the city of SLO for keeping Mission Plaza such a dynamic place during this time. And that will continue, and we'll learn more about that going forward. There's just a cute photo of somebody with their dog, which we always like that. I mean, there's nothing like a cute photo of a dog on a Monday morning, right? With that, I'm going to invite Rachel to talk a little bit about where we are in today's COVID reality. Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Bettina. Thank you. So as of Friday, March 19th, we're still in the substantial or red tier, looking at 20,189 positive tests of COVID-19 in the county, with 222 active cases. So really great to see that active case number continue to go the right direction. We did lose 2 additional members of the community this past week, bringing the total number of deaths due to COVID-19 in the county to 253. Our hearts go out as this continues to affect people, who may be our neighbors. We've all been affected by this, but really thinking of those who have lost their lives to this. 43,207 people have been vaccinated in SLO County, and that number is by SLO County Public Health. So other groups are vaccinating, and as soon as we get those numbers, if we do get them, we'll update that here as well. People are still encouraged to get tested. That's really helping the numbers right now, and you can visit readyslo.org to learn more on that. And the vaccine eligibility, you can learn more about that piece on recoverslo.org. With that, Bettina, I will turn it back over to you.
Great. Thank you so much, Rachel. Really appreciate your insight every week. And it's so gratifying to see the vaccination number eclipse the number of positive tests. But that doesn't mean that we don't get to not remain vigilant. So keep wearing your mask and keep staying distance, whether it's 6 feet or 3 feet, or maybe that'll change too, but just keep trying to stay informed and on top of that. Speaking of relief, we have the vaccines rolling out, and we also have some federal and state relief coming, and we want to hear a little bit from you today. So Rachel, if you could go ahead and launch that poll. The Paycheck Protection Program is still open, so that's really good news for a lot of folks who may have been in that, and we want to hear from you about what you've received as well. The details about the American Rescue Plan, or the ARP, are still coming out, and that includes a lot of money for our state and local governments, and I know that our partners at the city are trying to figure out where that money is going to be spent, as well as the folks at the county. And it's important to know that the stimulus payments, the relief checks, are hitting people's bank accounts. So plan your marketing accordingly as you go forward. We did a little push last week in our delivery to remind folks, if they did qualify for the stimulus, this is a great time for them to give that money back to their local community if they are able to do so. I'm going to go ahead and end this poll so that we can share the results with you. It's interesting to see. The PPP looks like that was by far the most popular. And I know that our organization, in full disclosure, has really benefited from that as well. We were not eligible in the first round because 501c6 organizations did not qualify. But in the second round, that has changed, and it's allowed us to start to bring some of our staffing levels back. We're still not whole where we were prior to the emergency, but this has been a big help for us. So thanks for sharing your information on this poll. We always love hearing from you. And with the fact that we have been in this reality for a year now, and the fact that we are starting to bring back some of our staffing levels, and we're looking ahead to future programs that are not solely emergency response based, wanted to talk a little bit with you about how you're feeling about these meetings. We really appreciate the fact that you show up week after week. But we know that, when your business comes back and as the economy starts to reopen, there can be some other things that are competing for your time. So we're going to ask another question now, and we'd like to know from you whether you'd like us to continue these meetings, or if you'd like us to change the schedule of them. Maybe there's a different time. Maybe we could do them every other week, once a month. We want to hear from you because we know sometimes we have up to, we have 26 people on the call right now. We've had up to 60, and the people who come and join us, there's a great group of folks who join us every week, and you know who you are. We also have folks who drop in, and of course we record these meetings and we share them for our members, but we would love to hear from you. So if you have stepped away from your screen, or if you are in your email right now, come on back to the Downtown SLO Response and Recovery Zoom and take this poll answer and let us know what you would like to do with these meetings going forward. Got about, okay, a lot of you voted. We've got 79% have voted so far, so thank you very much for that. We'll go ahead and end that poll and share those results for you. So it looks like every other week and weekly meetings is kind of in the chart, in the lead here. We'll review that internally. It could be that, maybe once we get to the yellow tier, we start talking about this again. We really try to make these meetings interesting, informative, and full of relevant information for you. As part of that, we have begun to bring some of our committees that existed before back on an ad hoc basis. And we're really excited to announce that we're going to be restarting our business education series. And the first focus that we're going to do is going to be on downtown safety. So save the date now for April 21st. We'll have a Zoom meeting 8:30 to 10 a.m. with some important representatives from the community. We'll have 2 representatives from the County of SLO Department of Social Services who are working on the update to the county's plan to address homelessness. We will have representatives from the SLO Police Department, including our downtown sergeant, Jason Dickel, and also John Clevens, who is a social worker embedded with the Community Action Team, or the CAT team, working with SLO PD. And we'll have one of our social workers, Junior Menchaca, who works for CAPSLO, with your downtown SLO organization, about connecting people to services. So more details will be coming soon, but please save the date for this. And we wanted you all, as our weekly attendees of these meetings, to know about this first. So keep your eye out for that. With that, we're gonna go into our weekly updates. And up first, we have Mr. Lee Johnson. Good morning, Lee. How are you today?
Good, Bettina, how about you?
Doing all right.
Can you see and hear me okay?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Yeah, so we survived St. Patty's Day. Thanks to everybody. It was good to get through that. Unfortunately, the COVID numbers fell back a little bit last week on the 2% numbers. So depending on what happens tomorrow, the earliest we could go to orange would be next week. The ways we can get there, we get our case rate down to 3.9, which right now it's at 6.2, so that doesn't seem too likely. But if the state hits 4 million first 4 million doses of vaccines to the lowest quartile in the healthy index. That raises that target to 5.9, which is much more doable. And it's also, at least in theory, retroactive. So we're currently at 2.7 million vaccines in that quartile. It'd be possible to get to 4 million next week, potentially, depending on what's happening and how many doses we're getting in the state and where they're going. The other way to get there is to get our 2% metrics down below 2 and 2.2, respectively. Last week we weren't there, but the week before we were. So it is possible, but it will depend on the numbers tomorrow, and then we'll know more about when orange tier could happen. Otherwise, as Rachel and I think Bettina both said, wear masks, social distance, wash your hands, get tested. It means a lot. Testing continues to drop, which hurts all of our metrics. So getting tested is important, and then get vaccinated when it's your turn. We don't have any council meetings for 2 weeks. It's a long month. That is it for me, unless anybody has any questions.
Anything come up at the council meeting last week that's worth reporting on, or anything to look forward
Open
to?
SLO was extended. So basically a lot of the pandemic stuff, we kicked all like the entitlements and things that have deadlines, all of those got extended. And then we will continue open SLO in the parklets until at least the end of the, I forget the exact terminology, but it's like till the end or until 180 days after the emergency declaration is lifted or the end of the year or something like that. But open SLO will be coming back to council, I think, in July for direction. So we'll see there. But yeah, that was it. Then what else was on there? Oh, the night hiking was agreed to go ahead and move into a real evaluation of the program. And then I think there was a homelessness update, an update from the fire department.
Okay. On that open SLO update, so just to clarify, the make the parklets permanent is something that has come up a lot in our members and our discussion. So what happened at the meeting last week was just extending the open SLO program. It wasn't ensuring that the parklets become permanent, correct?
Correct. So it was an extension of all of the underlying things that allow the different signage, the parklets, the dining in private parking. All of those rules were basically extended. And then in July, it will come back, open SLO will come back to the council to get direction about what the permanent program, if there is one, should look like. So in other words, should it be permanent? How many should we allow? What should we charge for parklets? All of that kind of stuff. We'll get some direction from council and then build a program and bring it back after that.
Great. Well, as that approaches, please keep us informed, because that is a very, very top of mind for downtown.
Yeah, and while we're on the parklet discussion, there has been some creep on what people are doing in the parklets, particularly around like canopies and tents and heaters. And so there will be a little bit of stepped up education / enforcement around that. Like you cannot have the heaters, those propane heaters, the mushroom ones underneath those tents, particularly if they're not certified tents. That is a huge fire risk, and fire and public works will be out making sure everybody's clear on what you can and cannot do. Otherwise, that's it for me.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Lee. Appreciate that. And I did want to just mention that Supervisor Ortiz-Legg is not able to be with us this morning, but she sends her hellos and she wishes she'll definitely be back next week. So that's why you're not hearing directly from the county this morning. Up next, we have Jackie Clark-Charlesworth from the SLO Chamber. Hi, Jackie. How are you today?
Good morning, Bettina. I'm good. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. All right. Well, it's nice to see everybody. Everyone's having a good Monday. And we just have a few updates. Good Morning SLO is this week, so we hope you all can make it. We have a really great lineup that is going to include talking about what COVID classrooms have been like this last year. So we'll be hearing from a kindergarten teacher up in Paso Robles, to talking about public art and hearing from Katie McGrath, who has been working with the city's promotional coordinating committee on all of the lovely banners you see around downtown and the city as well, to hearing from a couple business owners who have really started or found, their way through the pandemic and started new businesses. So it's going to be a really great program. I think Rachel just dropped the link to register in the chat. We hope to see you bright and early on Thursday if you can make it. And additionally, I know Molly Kano reported on the Buy Local bonus blowout last week, but it is going strong. As with the last time, what's different this time is we are not, sorry, this is the wrong graphic, but we are not limiting it to 200 people. We are just going until we run out of gift cards. So please continue to support local, shop small, save those receipts from takeout. Any, wellness businesses, we've now included personal services as well, and turn those in. You can email them to support@slocity.org. And you will be able to receive, until we run out, 2 $20 gift cards for every $100 you spend. So we've had some really great returns on this, about $500,000, so about $500,000 in local spending that we can track through other receipts that have been turned in, as well as about 150 local SLO businesses participating. So just big kudos to the city for launching this program. It's been great to work with them on this over at the chamber and see all the good feedback from locals supporting businesses and all the businesses that have really had some valuable impact from the gift cards that have been purchased from them, and then the additional incentive to shop local. And that's it.
Great. Thanks, Jackie. And sorry about those slides jumping around.
That's okay. I was getting a little seasick, but like I said, this is the wrong slide. So it's continuing through when we run out. Probably we'll wrap up within the next couple weeks, but please, shop local while you can, while this program's still going.
Great, and we'll look forward to that Good Morning SLO program, especially hearing from Katie about public art, which is actually a great introduction into our next topic, which is we're going to get an update from the new executive director at the SLO Museum of Art, Leanne Standish. Good morning, Leanne.
Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday, friend. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for inviting me to talk. We have so much going on right here, and we're really getting excited about opening or reopening and what that might look like. But I'm here today to talk to you about 2 specific projects that Bettina asked me to update you about. So I'll start with, and I hate screen sharing, and I didn't send slides in advance. So is everyone okay if I do a little screen share? And will you bear with me while I kind of make it messy? Okay, I see Kevin nodding, so I feel really confident now.
Yes, Leanne.
Okay.
Do
it. See, already I'm not finding my thing. Hold on. So the first thing I want to talk about is We All Bleed, which is a beautiful exhibition. Hold on, now I see that I've got it. No, oh, here it is, yay. Okay, so here it is. So can everyone see it now? Is it on your screens? Yay, okay. So this exhibition was really a brilliant exercise for the museum during a really weird time. The museum was closed. Literally, staff was being laid off. The city was going through crisis. The world was going through crisis. And Courtney Davis, our curator, started this conversation with Courtney Hale at Race Matters SLO and Richard Frisio, who's an area activist and photographer and really a gifted photographer. And so this exhibition opened just a week or so ago. It is available digitally right now. And it's a really powerful show. And I have actually feelings that in many ways, it's actually a great one to see online. And the reason for that is there is a digital component where you can go to our website and see the exhibition. And then we have a really great partner, Lynn Schmidt at Haven Properties, who has created these walkthroughs, the same sort of walkthrough that you do when you're looking at real estate. I spend a lot of time doing that. But you can walk through each of the pieces in the show, and there's an audio file with several of them. So it's a particularly powerful way to see the show. There are 12 photographs that Richard selected. And then we also invited the public to bring their protest signs to the museum, and we received hundreds of signs, and so they are installed here as well. So I invite you to really take a look at this exhibition online. It's beautiful, and an important conversation about what happened in small towns while we saw so much attention around this movement in large cities. It's really a great archive of what happened here in SLO. Along those lines, I'm excited to say that we are planning our opening, a sort of limited reopening around this partnership. So on April 24th, we are doing a film screening with Race Matters SLO and Slow Motion Films. The film is called SNCC, SNCC, and we're hopeful, fingers crossed, who knows, Lee will tell us differently, but we're hopeful that that screening will take place in the parking lot between us and History Center, and that will be the first time that we open the museum for guests to come and do a walkthrough. We're really excited about the refresh that the museum's been under, and we want to make sure that people have a chance to see the show in person before it closes. The other big thing amongst many that we're working on, and I'm really pleased to be in this partnership, which is really unique and special to this community in this time, hold on, is we are the first partner to be invited to work on the activation of Mission Plaza. So for the month of April, we'll be partnering with Downtown SLO, City of SLO, PCC, and Carson Butler to install an installation that I think is going to be beautiful. It's an artist whose name is Lori Shapiro. Lori's work, she's a textile artist and painter. She creates these large scale rooms. So I'm giving you a total sneak peek because I just think her work is so beautiful. So this piece that she'll do for us is recall the Lunar New Year installation. So that is the same truss that we'll be using. My understanding is that that truss is going to move to where the tunnel is presently. So it will be a gateway piece to the Mission Plaza. Lori, we did a call for artists. Lori was just stellar in her approach to this installation opportunity. And you can see she does these exquisite rooms. It's 15 feet tall, 10 feet wide, 12 feet long. It's a massive installation. She works in these marine quality or marine mylar materials, and probably Bettina, you and Carl can explain it all to me later. But there are parts that are transparent, so it creates these beautiful reflections. There are lamps installed. We're so excited to be the first partner. We're honored for the opportunity. Lori will begin installing at the end of this month, which is so fast. This was an incredibly fast turnaround, and we were really lucky to have Lori, who got super excited about the project with us. So I don't know how to stop sharing my screen now. You guys are going to read my emails. Anyway, so that's our project for the month of April. We're really excited to welcome you back. Please come and visit me anytime. You know, I have window on the world. You can knock on my window anytime. I'm right here. And thank you for the opportunity to talk about our projects.
Oh, that's fantastic, Leanne. Thanks so much for giving us that sneak preview. It looks really beautiful, and I don't think we've ever seen anything like that in Mission Plaza. Certainly not as long as I've lived here. So very cool. And for those of you who didn't understand Leanne's joke, my boyfriend has a sewing factory and he makes marine sewed parts. So yes, I do know things about weird fabric that can withstand weather and that kind of thing. We'll have to get the artist in touch with his shop. That's funny.
Right.
Anyway, that's great news. Do you have a target date for when the museum will be opening, or is that still to be determined?
Yeah, so we're going to do a limited reopening on that April 24th around the film screening. And then if you'll invite me back in a month or so, I'll talk to you about other exhibitions, but we have a really important exhibition opening on May 7th. So I think we'll be more open, officially open May 7th.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, Leanne. We'll absolutely have you back. I know you hang out in the chat and join us most weeks. So good luck with everything. We look forward to coming and seeing the space. Oh, here's a question. Is Lori a local artist? Where is she from?
Lori is an LA-based artist.
That's great.
Thank you, Steve Larian, for the question.
So cool. Well, similarly, we are also hard at work at another community public art project, our Mayflower Initiative, which started last year in really the darkest time of the pandemic, when the streets were so quiet. There were no parklets. We didn't know what was coming. And we also didn't know what was coming in a bad way too. But we launched this program last year, and originally we thought that we'd just get maybe 10 or 15 businesses to participate, and we ended up having more than 70. We have extended our call for artists and our call for businesses. So right now we have about 35 businesses, and we have 37 artists signed up to participate in the Mayflower Initiative this year, which will start May 1st, and it will run through the entire month of May. We're specifically looking for property owners, particularly those who may have untenanted spaces. Even if you have maybe a tenant who is going to move in, but they are not ready to open until June, we would love to activate that window with the Mayflower in some way. So the way that it works is artists can paint on the windows themselves, or they can also paint something on large paper that then gets hung in the windows. There are a number of ways to make this work. So if you know of a property owner, or if you are a business that would like to participate, please sign up, and that deadline has been extended. We also are going to be the second partner with the city and the Promotional Coordinating Committee on the month of May, and we'll give you a little sneak preview here too of what we're planning. So once the amazing exhibition from SLO comes down, we'll have to try to follow that act, which will be a tough act to follow, I'm sure. And we are partnering with the Cal Poly Rose Float team, who will be building and designing a built piece that will go into Mission Plaza, including fresh dried flowers and fruits and produce. It's going to be so cool, very exciting to give them some work to do, because their activations and their programs have been shut down during the pandemic. We'll be doing some chalk art, and we'll also be bringing in some flower wrappings on the light poles in Mission Plaza and also throughout downtown. And we're also looking to bring in some fun butterflies. We're also going to be partnering again with the SLO Children's Museum on a scavenger hunt to find butterflies throughout downtown. So look for that in May. It should be a really fun, bright way to welcome people back downtown as we continue to reopen the community. And just another reminder, we still have gloves available if you need vinyl gloves. We can bring them to you, or you can come to our office to pick them up, but we've distributed to more than 100 businesses, and we still have some left because we got lots and lots and lots. So let us know if you need any gloves. Our ambassadors have been hard at work, not just cleaning up the downtown, but also distributing the annual reports. They went out and brought the annual report to many of our storefront businesses. You can see this report online, or if you would like us to bring you a hard copy, we would be happy to do so. Just let us know and reach out to us. And of course, Mission Plaza, we have the downtown dine out in Mission Plaza every day, tables, chairs, umbrellas, weather permitting. So at this point, I'm going to ask for any questions that you might have, and also tell everybody publicly that our email, unfortunately, has been down over the weekend, and we're working hard to resolve it. But if you have sent an email to anybody on our team and you got a bounce back, we are aware of the problem, and it is still not clear if we will receive the emails that were sent during the time that it was down. So you can imagine how nerve-wracking that is, and we really appreciate your patience. If you need to contact us, there's the telephone would probably be the best way. So you can call us, you could come by, and again, we really try to be responsive. So if you didn't hear back from us, we apologize if you didn't get through to us via email. So any questions from anybody? Comments, criticisms? Anybody want to tell a joke? No jokes? Okay. I do want to just close today by telling you that I had a meeting last week in City Hall, and I hadn't been in City Hall for a really long time, and there's some really beautiful photographs, historical photos that line the walls. And so I was just looking at those while I was waiting for my socially distanced meeting to start. And there was a photo of a hotel that was built in the late 1880s, and then it burned down 6 months later. So if we think we had it bad in 2020, I think it could have been a lot worse, and it has been a lot worse in our community as well. So just important to keep things in perspective and to keep going and to remember to shine bright. And I look forward to seeing all of you around downtown. I always like to end these meetings by saying, reach out to us and email us. But in this case, I'd say maybe we'll see each other face to face or over the phone. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next week.